Hi, it's Ramesha here with Vocal Bliss. Welcome. Today I would like to talk about 3 important steps to take in order to access and then develop your head voice, your upper range, the high notes. This is probably the most frequent question I get from people and students in general. How do I access that range and how do I sing those notes without effort? So this is what I'm going to talk about today. So if you're here and you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and consider also liking the video, giving it thumbs up. That will help other people find it and hopefully benefit from it. There are 3 important steps that we can take, as I said, in order to access the upper range. There are several other things as well, but these 3 steps I feel are particularly important. The first one is learning, first and foremost, how to make your voice full and strong in your lower range. Because when you climb up to the upper range, when you start to go up, it's very important, with whatever exercise you use, it's very important to be able to start with a sound that is crisp and full. Because as you go up, what you're trying to do gradually is to open and relax. So if you start with a sound that's already not 100% full, it's a little bit breathy maybe, by the time you reach the upper notes, your sound is probably gonna be gone, like it's fallen apart. So you want to start with a good, strong sound. And the way to do this, and I explained this in many other videos, but I'm going to recap it here because it's very important. The way to do it is to consciously learn when you sing, and normally we sing on vowels, so I'm talking about vowels here. When you sing a vowel, pronounce that vowel very, very clearly, because what you're doing is you are training the vocal cords and the muscles around the vocal cords to really close the vocal cords together tightly so that there's no air that leaks through, that comes through mixed with the sound. So you don't want to hear ah, you want to hear ah. All the breath has to turn into sound. And the way you learn to do this is really training these muscles to close the vocal cords tightly together and then be able to produce a full sound. Now, this has to be done with exercise. There are exercises to do this, but also with relaxation, because you don't want to strain the sound. You want to create a full sound, but in a relaxed way. So one of the best ways to do this is to enunciate the vowels and then hold the note, like ah, and then hold, relax. And as you relax, the sound will stay full, but you will also relax the throat. And gradually you will learn how to do this, how to enunciate with a crisp sound, but then relax the vocal cords. And you can try this with some long notes. Ah, and relax. You can do all the vowels and really learn how to make the voice full down here. For most people, this is not an issue. Most people, especially lower voices, I noticed. So like maybe altos for women and men in general, they always already have a full voice in the lower range. This is the range where you speak in. So if you're used to speaking with the full sound, that's probably an indication that you will already have a full sound in your lower range. If you're one of those people who, when you go to a noisy party, nobody can hear when they talk, maybe that's an indication that your speaking voice is not very full. And so you might benefit from doing these exercises where you enunciate clearly ah, and then hold the tone, and as you hold, relax the throat, but don't lose the fullness. So I can't really explain the full exercise here because I have a lot of other things I want to talk about, but it's pretty straightforward. I think just hold note, enunciate, and just make sure they stay full. And the second very, very important step is breath support. Now, if you've had any experience singing in the higher notes, one thing you might have noticed is that as you go higher, more breath is necessary. You need more breath, and you need more breath pressure, air pressure, in order to sing those notes. This is just an acoustic it's a natural phenomenon that happens. You need more of that. So one of the important things to do, to remember, is to work on your diaphragmatic breathing, work on the area of your belly where all these muscles are, and make sure that they are working and they are engaged when you sing a note. So the way to do this, most people are not really breathing diaphragmatically in general. You can look at people when they talk, for example, and you'll notice that when they take a breath, it's like, there's like this motion here that it's just taking a shallow breath with the upper part of your chest instead of inflating your belly here. So the way to learn how to breathe diaphragmatically is by, you can do it more easily by laying on your back, like on your bed, for example, and put your hands on your belly, and then inhale deeply, not long inhalation through your nose, and notice the movement that your belly makes. You should feel your belly inflate, so your belly goes out. And then when you exhale, you should feel your belly go back in towards your spine, basically. So if you do that intentionally, like you inhale and try to really inflate your belly, and then exhale and try to really deflate your belly, this will help you to become more and more aware of your diaphragm as you breathe. And that's what you want, because when you sing, you want to engage this area of the belly. When you sing, you inhale, you inflate the belly, you inflate also the chest. It's not just the belly, but the belly has a primary function in this whole process, which is, as you inhale, once you start singing, when you start making a sound, basically, your belly muscles should get engaged, and they should feel somewhat tense, not really super tense, but engaged. Let's just put it that way. And so what you want to do in order to develop this is intentionally do some breathing exercises where you inhale, and then when you exhale, you really create a strong pressure from your belly to push the air out. And so you can do this by, I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to inhale, inflate my belly. And then when I exhale, you're like saying TS basically, and you're creating a closure here with your mouth, with your teeth and your tongue, so that your belly has to work extra hard to push out the air. And doing this exercise will strengthen your belly muscles for one, but it will also show you what kind of pressure you have to be prepared to have from your belly when you sing, and especially when you sing high notes. So we can do a couple of rounds of these together. So inhale through your nose, make sure you inflate your belly, and then exhale, make your belly really tight. And then inhale again, inflate your belly, let it come out, and then and really feel this work that the abdominal muscles are doing to do this. Okay, so this is a very important one. Don't underestimate diaphragmatic breathing, because it will really help you when you reach the upper range to sustain the sound. And then the third part, which is probably mechanically speaking the most important one in terms of singing in the notes in the upper range without effort. This is what we're going for. We're going for singing high without effort. Okay, so what happens when you approach the upper range usually, normally? Probably you've experienced this. You go high, and as you go higher and higher, you start to feel tension in the throat until you reach a point where the tension is really, really pretty dramatic. And what you need to do is push harder and harder in order to get a sound out. So your notes up there will be pretty much like yelling in a sense. It's not really singing so much anymore. It's just really yelling. And there's a place for this way of singing. Certain music genres, certain styles require almost that kind of yell, And but if you're going for a nice polished sound, and more importantly, if you really care about the health of your vocal cords, and also if you really want to explore the full extent of your range, what you need to do is find a way that I will show you in a moment how to go about it in a relaxed way. Because if you don't relax, you'll still be able to hit some of the high notes yelling it out, but you're not really going to be able to cover your whole range, because you're still gonna hit like a plateau, and then your voice will refuse to go any further without breaking, without cracking. And so, but if you do it right, you'll be able to really add quite a bit of range to what you already have right now, probably if you're watching this video. So how do we do this? Okay, so I mentioned the tendency as you go higher is to tense the throat and sing louder. Well, the way to do it is to actually do the exact opposite. We're going to approach this high note by relaxing the throat and singing softer. And this is how we're going to do it. We're going to now, in the beginning, this will sound, the higher note will sound a little thin, maybe a little breathy, maybe a little bit more like falsetto, if you know what that is, instead of full voice. That's just fine. Don't worry about it. This is not the final product. This is not the final result. This is just a step along the way of learning how to sing those high notes without effort. Okay, so very relaxed. In fact, I want you to make sure that the voice transitions from singing from your chest, from your speaking voice, into that higher space. When you do it right, you will feel the voice going like, it's almost like it goes into another area. To me, it feels like going to the loft. When you sing the lower notes, you're like in your living room, and then gradually you climb up that stairway that takes you to your loft, and all of a sudden, boom, you're in a different space. When you feel it correctly and it's done correctly, what you feel is it's relaxed. Okay, maybe it's not the greatest sound in the world yet, but it's relaxed. And by that I mean you should be able to hold that note as long as you want without any problem. Okay, so this simple exercise I just showed you is a simple arpeggio like 1, 3, 5, 8. Da, 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 da. So start a little lower maybe and use all the vowels and just go and then go up a little. And when you start to feel the tension, no matter how high you go, you should feel that it's completely relaxed. Okay? And like I said, this is not the final result. Once you've developed this ability to transition from your chest to your head voice, this is what it's called, head voice. Then once you've done a few of these for a while, your muscles start to get coordinated in transitioning from low to high. They start to get stronger, and then gradually you can amplify and expand the sound up there until then once you've done it enough, then the muscles will be able to really withstand the pressure and the power of the sound. But the cool thing is it will start to sound like a real full sound, like your lower notes, but without effort. And you can go much, much higher than you thought you could ever go if you do it this way. Please don't strain your voice trying to sing high notes. Go for relaxation. Relaxation should be your number one priority as you work through this process. And volume will probably be the last thing that you add to the mix. Because if you start adding volume too soon, chances are you're going to revert back to the old way of pushing. So before you add any volume, I want you to really work on this and make sure that you've transitioned into your head voice, that it feels relaxed. You should feel like you hold that sound without any problems. One last thing I want to say about this is that one of the great advantages of learning this technique, which is not something I made up, this is what professional musicians use when they sing high notes. They use their head voice if they want to preserve their voice and sing well up there. But one of the great advantages of singing like this up there is that not only is it effortless, but you can first of all, you get a much wider range, and also you will be able in time to also sing soft in the upper range. You will be able to sing very high notes soft, and you can you can really do whatever. Once the note is placed where it's supposed to be and it's relaxed, then you can amplify, go softer, go louder. It doesn't really matter. You have control over it. So, okay, I hope I convinced you of the importance of singing relaxed and trying to go about finding these high notes in a relaxed way for the sake of your vocal cords, first and foremost. But also, I gotta tell you, quite honestly, it becomes so much fun to sing when you can sing without tensing and just be up there or down or up, it doesn't matter, but you are relaxed. You can really enjoy your singing. You can put so much more emphasis and focus on the feelings that you want to convey with your song, on the message, the meaning of the song itself. And your mind will not be always focused on, oh my God, will I be able to hit the high note? I don't know. One time out of 5, it does come out, but no. You just want to be able to do all that you need to do, low notes, high notes, knowing that they will respond the way you want them to. And then forget about it and just focus on the voice. Focus on the song, which is what we're talking about. Focus on the song and the meaning of it. So I hope this was helpful to you. Try these exercises, these few things that I suggested, and really, really stay relaxed. If you feel any tension, chances are you're doing something wrong. So just take a moment, relax, go drink a glass of water, I don't know, and then come back and stay relaxed and try to really find. It might take some time to develop your head voice, but I assure you from my own experience and the experience of working with many, many students over the years, it's so worth it, so worth it. Okay, thank you so much for watching this. If you enjoyed it, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel for more videos which will come in the future. And thank you again for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.